Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to my Safe Gayven. Thank you guys for joining me once again for another live spoiler discussion of Loki. This time we will be talking about episode 3. So for anybody that is joining me live here in the chat, and for anybody that does come in, or maybe you come and watch the live stream, if you could do me a favor and hit that lovely like button, it'll really help with the stream and the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. And I see people are jumping in already. How you guys doing? But yeah, as usual, you know how it goes. You know the vibes, as Frankie would say. I tried to get her on this show, but she's busy. But yeah, I don't ever do these lives alone, so let's just bring on Ron. I don't got to introduce him at this point, but yeah, let's bring him on. Hey,
yeah, yo, random. I know it's nothing to do with the show. I was just reading something that said Michael B. Jordan was appropriating Haitian culture with like a brand or something like that.
I know. I just read that like right before we went live.
Yeah,
I didn't get to read. Yeah, I didn't get to read.
I'm just thinking like black people appropriating other black cultures. Like that's crazy, bro. Like even like I've been writing something that has to do with Haitian culture, but I reached out to Haitian people like, hey, this is how I should do this. How should I go about it or whatever? But like it's crazy that we can do that. You never really heard of it, but like and now a white person wouldn't think of it either because they think we're all one, we're a monolith. But like it's crazy. You can steal from ourselves. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people like when we put on like African garb or whatever, like when we dressed up for like Black Panther, things like that. Some people were complaining, "Oh, that's not your culture," and it's like, well, yeah, but our culture was also stolen. Like, so we're trying we're also trying to connect back to.
And we went all the way back to the root. If you're dressing like African, you know what I mean? It's not like you're going throughout the diaspora and cherry picking. That's kind of what Michael B. did. All right, I got problems with that man, but whatever. Let's go.
Well, yeah, we already know you don't like him as an actor. You don't think he can act.
Don't say. I don't be saying. There's only black people watching. Who watching? Because I don't be saying that in front of white people.
I mean, yeah, it's true. But I mean, for the most part, is based on like icons and things like that. When I look at like my comments, it's mostly black people. But yeah, like I see more people are starting to jump in. So yeah, as usual, just in case this is somebody's first live, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Ron from You Don't Read Comics. I operate the entire site. I own it. It's mine. I talk about comic books mostly. I stick to the comics. Pop comics influence a lot of things that we're all into right now, so I always try to bring it back to that.
Any black comics that came out? Because I sent you one. I forgot what it was called. I was like, have you heard of this? It's like an indie comic.
Yeah, I picked it up, but I haven't read it yet. But black comics out right now: Black Cotton, Valis, Philadelphia, Bitterroot.
Yeah.
Miles Morales is doing the Clone Saga right now. It's actually pretty good. Eve by Boom Studios.
Static came out last week.
I still haven't done my review for that. I'm sorry, I'm so busy. Yeah, there's a ton. If you want to know about black comics, just DM me on my Instagram, and I'll give you a complete list. There's a lot of positive, really dope black comics out right now. Ballast, did I say that already? Yeah, a lot of dope stuff is going on. Today, Marvel Pride came out today. That's not necessarily black, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was lazy, so I ordered, instead of going to the store, I just ordered it off the internet so it could just ship to my house.
That's an option.
Yeah, it is. I do that all the time. Like even grocery shopping, like I'll have it like delivered, like Whole Foods or whatever.
I didn't take a picture of my stack yet, and I didn't even know it was coming out. But DC dropped something today. I forget the name of it. If you give me a second, I'll just go pick it up. Hold on.
All right. Well, I'll talk about Ron introducing himself. Since I'm doing a multi-stream here, not just on YouTube, but I'm also streaming on Facebook and Twitch. For those of you, because it doesn't tell me how many people are watching on Facebook or Twitch, but for those of you that are watching on Facebook and Twitch, welcome. As you can see, welcome to my Safe Gayven. My name is BlackGayComicGeek, Michael, my real name. And basically, if it's your first time joining me on Facebook or Twitch, I talk about nerd shit, blood, if it's or represent. Yeah, I'm represented for all the black queer nerd commentators out there. That's why I decided to put myself out on the internet. And I always say, if the property has blood, sex, gore, and magic, more than likely I'm gonna be interested. I like talking about superheroes, fantasy, horror, action, and anything like that. So yeah, if you guys are watching on those platforms, hit the like button over there. I don't know if they have a like button on Twitch, but I know Facebook does. So hit the like button on Facebook and leave a comment. And I think it should pop up on this stream as well, even though it's not on YouTube. Yeah. But for those of you that are joining, I do want to say, because I see more people are jumping into the stream. Thank you for being here for this live, because I know there's a hell of a lot of competition tonight. Because like,
could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. Like the whole internet decided to go live tonight at 7 p.m. I was like, dang. I was starting to doubt myself because I was like, I'm not one of the big, like all the big YouTubers are going live tonight. So I was like, shit, should I change the time? But I mean, I see people are here. Like even if it was like 3 people here, that's still 3 people that could have been somewhere else. So I appreciate.
You got a cool base, yo. Who was the person who knew about the Oshkosh Bagasse last week? Y'all, you in here?
They might come in later, but I'm not. I'm not sure.
I was about to ask them what they moisturize their hair with. I threw in some pink lotion before this started. Y'all still use pink lotion or nah? It's dead. It's dub.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, pink lotion. Like, yeah, do people still use that?
I bought it. It works for me.
I can see my body. I can see my body lotion from here. I got Nivea.
That's body lotion. Pink lotion for your hair.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But real quick, I see New York City DCG. What's up, y'all? How you doing? I see you in the stream. Narius 21. Hi. Where my variants at? Oh, there we are. I ain't a variant. I'm the original deal. I see you in the stream. Marlon G. Hey, Ron and Michael and Ron. How you doing?
Was it that person that was knew about the Oshkosh Bagasse before?
Nah, I think it was a woman. But I would know the name if I saw it. But yeah, they said yeah, I did it in high school. The pink.
So you see, we the same kind of black. Did you use pink lotion?
I'm about that shade moisturizer life.
I mean, I use Shea now too. I bought pink lotion for the nostalgia, but did you use pink lotion as a kid before all the Shea products got popular?
I'm trying to. He wait. Yeah, they say yes. Yeah. Ron taking it way back with the Oshkosh and pink lotion. See, this is the Caribbean upbringing, because I'm like, I had the pink lotion.
Yeah,
but I'm like Oshkosh. I don't know what
difference. Like we all black people. We're not a monolith.
Yeah, not all black people are a monolith.
Yeah.
Which, you know, most people don't realize.
Exactly. And that's why Michael B. Jordan thought he could get away with stealing Haitian culture, but it's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what he changes the name to. But yeah, so I'm actually curious. Let's jump it into Loki. I'm actually curious of what you thought about this episode, because I did hit you up earlier and you said you didn't see it yet. So now, and we didn't talk about it afterwards. I wanted to save it for tonight. But yeah,
I'm wondering if it's our fault, because the first 2 episodes were really good. Was the bar too high?
So maybe so I guess you feel the same way I did.
Was the bar too high?
So yeah, so jump into it. Give your general thoughts of this episode.
Number one, like off the bat, like you told me that the episode was shorter than all the other ones, and that kind of blew mine. Like I was kind of like, you know, feeling the fact that Loki was a certain, like, it was longer than the other series. And one thing this episode was really lacking, and now I appreciated him and it way more, is Owen Wilson.
Yes.
He is definitely helping Tom Hiddleston carry this series, and his absence was noticed. He was missed.
It was missed. Yeah, it was very, very much felt.
Yeah.
And I mean, I recorded my spoiler review earlier today, and I was like, right after I just got off of work, and I had just watched it like only the one time, but I woke up a little bit earlier and watched it again. And not that I hated this episode. I didn't hate this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But like I said, maybe we set the bar too high. But the first 2 episodes were so good, and we expected it to be a turning point this episode, but we didn't really get much. Not much new information or anything like that. It was just like, it kind of felt like filler.
I mean, we got some new information, but I will say, like, I enjoyed this episode a little bit more on the second watch, not at my expectation, and I knew what to expect. So I enjoyed it a little bit more on the second watch than I did on the first watch. But at the same time, yeah, this episode did leave me a little disappointed.
Even at the end of the last review, we were like, oh, episode 3. That's gonna be
it. I was like, let's go. So I thought it was gonna be like some stuff happening, like the multiverse. You're gonna see some chaos going on. Like you saw the TVA, you saw the TVA scrambling and everything like that. Like we didn't really get any of the TVA for the most part in this episode. And like you said, the interaction between Owen Wilson and Loki was definitely missed in this episode. And Mobius, like. Yeah. I really enjoy seeing those two characters, and like he really does help push this show forward. So and then like Lady Loki, I don't know, I didn't feel well. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. But anyway, so like I said, guys, if you're in the stream, I see more people are jumping in. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button, it'll really help with the YouTube algorithm and things like that. Or if you're on Facebook, hit the heart, the like, or whatever is on Facebook, or Twitch too, because I don't know if they have like I said, I don't know if they have a like button on Twitch. But let's jump right into it. So the episode opened with basically
the end of the last one.
Yeah, the end of the last episode, and then you saw like the flashback of when she was manipulating what is it, C20? C19, whatever the girl's name is that you see on the screen from last week's episode that worked for the TVA.
Yeah.
And
I thought this was real at first.
Yeah, like, I thought it was real. Like I thought it was a flashback to Sylvie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, so we're getting her backstory already.
Yeah. I'm like, is this a date?
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, so they're actually doing what they didn't do with Captain Marvel. So but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later, because they did kind of do something. So we saw this moment, and then it turns out that they got out of it, and it was revealed that Lady Loki was just manipulating her, and that's how we find out that that mind manipulation was how she was able to figure out where the timekeepers were. Yeah, the enchantment.
Yeah.
And they said that the timekeepers are like hidden behind like a golden door or something like that. So that's what told them what to look for.
Yeah, a little bit of information we got.
Yeah, it's a little bit of information. And part of me was like, but how does she even know? Especially what the reveal.
What rank is she to know where the timekeepers are? Even Mobius not.
Yeah, even Mobius doesn't know. So I'm kind of wondering, like. And I think I said this to y'all in the chat with me, you, Frankie, and James. But like, my theory is because Mobius hints that Ravonna is sleeping with another Minuteman, and I'm like, well, maybe is it her? Maybe during like cuddle time, she was
Ravonna, that's Kang's squeeze. So we don't know what's going on. So
could be a little bit of both.
Yeah,
like
maybe that Asian
because Kang ain't around.
What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say Kang ain't around right now, so Ravonna need that.
And it's 2000. No, it's not even no time there. So people probably they got some kind of open relationship. It's whatever.
So I'm like Kang need that itch scratch. Mm-hmm. I mean, not Kang, Ravonna.
Yeah,
but
I was expecting to get more Ravonna this episode too. That was another disappointment because the last episode they take off with that pruning weapon. I'm like, oh, somebody about to get it, yo. And I thought that's more confrontation.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be like a big action sequence with her, and and I know you had a theory that she's not long for this world.
Yeah,
and I was like, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
and so, but then it was just like, that's it. Like even with the TVA period, like there wasn't really any TVA in this episode. But so then we see right after that you see Loki, both Lokis going to the TVA. We see the fight scene. She tries to enchant a TVA member, and obviously it doesn't work because they said magic doesn't work in the TVA. And then Loki shows up, and actually before that, she starts fighting the Minutemen.
She has some really good action scenes actually,
showing that she got hands.
Yeah, she looks better than Loki did.
Yeah, I was just about to say she's a much better fighter, than Loki.
Yeah,
I was like,
I think we kind of learned later on in the episode she might have had a harder life than that Loki. So
she definitely did, but I still feel like they're showing her to be like. Basically, because Loki's a god, so they're showing her to be more godlike in her strength and power than they do with Loki to a certain extent.
She's more show, Loki's more tell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But oh, okay. So wait. Oh, so I was wrong. So okay, I couldn't see the profile. Yeah, so that was me last week. Yeah, with the Oshkosh.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I just saw the hat and I was just like, oh, I think. And then I saw Marilyn. Yeah, Marilyn. Yeah, duh. I don't know why I thought it was Marlon.
Marlon
from
brother.
I was thinking Finding Nemo.
Oh,
that's what my mind went. But yeah, Loki. Every time Loki always got those knives, but yeah, he don't never had a hands. He always getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah,
but
not his strength though. You saw what his strength was, the actual magic. So
I got a comment about that later. We'll talk about that later because I'm like, actually, no, well, fuck it. We're gonna talk about it now. Like, what the fuck was going on with that? Like, did he forget he had that in the first Avengers movie? Like. You saw him shooting like fucking Kamehameha blasts, shooting energy blast. He used the telekinesis to lift a giant freaking building structure. Like,
yeah, he reversed it. Like, that was crazy, right? No,
it was dope. But I'm like, where was all this magic in like the 10 years that we've seen him in like in
because he was
other Avengers movies.
He fought the Avengers shortly, but definitely he got overpowered by the Hulk. He didn't really fight the Avengers.
No, but he could have tried to blast the Hulk, or even in Thor: The Dark World when he's fighting.
He's fighting guys though.
Yeah, when he's fighting Malekith, you don't think he could use? All we seen him do was shapeshift.
Yeah.
You don't think he could have shot an energy blast at the Dark Elves?
Just like every other character that's getting a Disney Plus show, they're giving us more of them. So. Even Doctor Strange, all I've seen him do is do this pretty much. I'm waiting for the next movie so he can get crazy, like, you know. What I mean?
But at least we saw like Avengers Endgame. He was doing like he made multiple Stranges. He did the Crimson Bands, the Sidorak.
Yeah.
But in this, it's just, and then even in Thor Ragnarok, we saw him using even more magic in Thor Ragnarok than we saw him using even his own movie. Like in the Doctor Strange movie, they were just using magic to make like weapons. They weren't using like magic.
I need Doctor Strange right now because if you don't read comics, maybe you wouldn't know, but like Doctor Strange is like he's supposed to be keeping all of this in order. Like that's kind of his job, and he's just like not around. All this chaos is happening. Protect
it. Like he even said, he even says in like Avengers Infinity War, he's like protecting your reality, douchebag. Meanwhile, exactly. I'm like, well, WandaVision, it's like,
Wanda.
What you want? What you want? Sabbatical? Like,
I think they're gonna have to make Doctor Strange the Nexus being.
You think they are?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to be one. Yeah, there's probably gonna be only one Stephen Strange, no variants of him.
Okay, I mean, because isn't in the comic? Yeah, I think so. Wanda's the one.
Yeah, in the comics, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they might, or he's the protector of, like you said, he's because that's his job as the Sorcerer Supreme. But where is he? Like,
exactly. Like, fire this man. This man.
That's something. That's something they definitely gonna have to explain once they get to. They're gonna be like, oh, he was in another dimension, kind of like they do in the comics. Like, oh, he was in another dimension, so he didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But so then they fight and everything like that. She takes out the Minutemen, and she like disintegrates some of them. I was like, fuck.
We keep saying Minutemen. Are you thinking about the Missy Elliott song? Like, it's in my head now.
Show me what you got. Now that you say it, now that shit's gonna be stuck.
You up, now
that shit's gonna be stuck in my head. But every time I hear Minutemen, I keep thinking of like what, because that's actually shut the fuck up. That's they call the people from Watchmen. But what is this? I'm mad late, but I'm ready to be disagreeable. I mean, thanks for joining. I mean, that's fine. If you disagree, that's good. That's good. That's good for the discourse. They give us more to chat about. But what is this? Doctor Strange isn't Sorcerer Supreme yet. That title is vacant at the end of his movie with the death of the Ancient One.
But
right now, he's just the Master
Sorcerer. He became the Sorcerer Supreme off screen.
That's what it seems like.
Between Infinity War and his movie, a lot had to happen.
And not only just that, but like he seemed way more powerful than in like, again, last time we saw him was in his movie. Then we saw him again in Thor Ragnarok. He was more powerful in Thor Ragnarok than he was. And then he was like, he knew who Loki was. He knew who Thor was. He was like, oh, it's my job
I think
to keep
Sorcerer Supreme already. Yeah, and it happened off screen. Maybe we'll do a catch up for us, but it's happened already.
Yeah, so that maybe. So or maybe they'll do like a flashback of him officially getting the title.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, he seems they haven't officially said it in the MCU yet, but like with the way they've been treating him since we've seen him in his first movie, it would make sense for him to be Sorcerer Supreme. But I guess we'll see. But so Loki and Loki confront each other. They still are disagreeable as hell. You see Loki's like, what is going on? Like he even said this in last week. Like I would never treat another Loki like this.
Exactly.
Which, we find out later on a little bit more. But Ravonna shows up, and right before because she was about to look like she was about to kill both of them.
Well, first off, what's the name? Lady Loki tried to hold Loki hostage, and she was like, "I'll kill him if you step forward." She's like, "I don't care."
Yeah, she was like, She charged at him because even before, like you met with the Mobius and Ravonna conversation, she was like, "Why is he still alive? Like I don't trust him."
Yeah,
like it was Mobius that was.
Yeah, Ravonna's pretty tight now. She's probably pretty much like I told you so at this point.
Yeah, it was Mobius that basically pushed him to be alive. That's the only reason he's still alive. Yeah, because she sentenced him. She sentenced him to be guilty, which meant he was going to get purged.
Yeah.
But right before that could happen, they end up going to Lamentis 1, which doesn't really have. I looked it up. I googled it. I was like,
ring any bells for me? And I'm like a big Marvel space guy, like the Kree stuff, War Kings, Annihilation. I love Black Bolt. I love the Korean stuff. I never heard of Lamentis. Maybe it's like some deep throwback stuff, like 60s stuff, but I never heard of it.
And I love Marvel cosmic stuff, and I was like, what's Lamentis? Like, what the? So I had to Google it, and I was like, oh, so this happened. This showed up in like one issue of a comic, and it was an Elseworld story or whatever, and it's basically just outside of Kree, planet outside of Kree space. That's really what it boiled down to. So it's not really that important, in the which made me wonder, like, of all the planets to go to, like, especially with the bombs going off everywhere. I was like, I don't know, whatever. But
I think they just try to use it as the ultimate. What were they saying? Like they disappear into like end of the world events. And it's supposed to be like one of the worst ones. So
and I saw a lot of people comparing this to like an episode of Doctor Who. I never really watched. I've seen like a very small amount of Doctor Who because I started watching it when it was on Netflix, and then when I was starting to get into it, Netflix snapped. They took it off, so I couldn't really watch as much.
Yeah, it's Doctor Who's. I don't know. They just had like a black person on it for like the first time like 2 seasons ago, right?
No, one of the companions was black. I think they had a black doctor recently, but I think one of the companions was black. But so anyway, they end up on this planet. But somebody
said Strange was Doctor Who, right?
Somebody said Doctor Who goes hard. So I need to go. But I need to try to figure out some way to watch it.
Doctor Strange was Doctor Who, right?
No, he was Sherlock.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but it was still BBC. I mean, it's damn near almost the same thing. Sherlock is basically the human Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But
Purple Man was Doctor Who, no?
Yeah, Purple Man was Doctor Who. But Kelly, what'd she say? I don't think it happened off screen. Isn't there a whole contest that needs to happen? That's a whole sequel. There was like a thing that happened in like the Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment, where there was like a contest to see who would be.
That could just be a montage, though. They throw in the next movie,
Yeah, they could. But I would love to see them do Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Triumph, and Torment as like a Disney Plus thing.
Doom first.
Yeah, we got to get Doom with Armor Wars, hopefully.
Armor Wars, yeah, man.
But so they end up on Lamentis, and they're talking. Loki's trying to get to know this other Loki. And I said this to you before, but like, did you like her? Like, I don't know. I feel like the chemistry between these two.
Like her. Yeah, you like. I told you, I thought that she was bad, but then you said it's just the chemistry, and then you might be right. It could just be chemistry, and the fact that we were missing Owen Wilson so much. Yeah,
like I don't know. I feel like the chemistry between the two of these, and I don't think she's a bad actor. It's just like for this to be the entire episode, like I just don't. And then, Loki and Loki
of it could be too. Yeah, we expecting her Loki to be just like Loki, and she's not.
She's basically a completely different character.
Yeah, exactly.
So
completely different. Yeah.
Like it even to the point
They
where
have
she's
few things in common, but
yeah, like even to the point where he calls her Loki, and she's like, "Don't call me that. Don't call me that. My name is Sylvie." Which basically, and a lot of people on the internet were thinking this too, and we talked about this before, but they're basically combining two different characters into one.
I don't know if but they're saying that Sylvie was born Loki. So are they making a trans character, or was it just a female Loki?
Or I don't know, because she said when
after she says like this, the second time she says stop calling me Loki, he calls her Sylvie.
Like, he does, but she also says like I'm not Loki anymore, so maybe she was Tom Hiddleston.
Exactly. So is that a trans character?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because you know,
let me know if I'm reaching.
I don't know, because I'm like in a world of shape shifting. Like, would it really be considered trans? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have the range.
Yeah, I don't have the range for that either. Like, I mean, I might be gay, but I'm still like,
yeah. It's different. Maybe somebody in the comments is.
Yeah, maybe. So, or if you're more educated than us,
yeah,
let us know in the chat below. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate that Loki still respected, like, still started, calling her Sylvie.
Yeah. It felt like that, like when somebody corrects you on their pronouns and you kind of like,
Yeah, but real quick, I just noticed this question. Where is this show on the timeline? Directly after Endgame, before WandaVision?
I don't think it's anywhere in the timeline.
Yeah, it's nowhere on the timeline.
Timeline.
Yeah, because technically
it happened in Avengers.
Yeah, because they also say in like the TVA, time means nothing. In the TVA, and plus they're also time traveling. So like they went to Lament. What was it, like 2055 or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
So it takes place throughout all the timelines, because
the TVA exists outside of time. I think somebody had a theory that the TVA exists inside the quantum realm. So
yeah, I saw somebody saying that, because there was like a little, when Ant-Man was there, you saw a little city in the background.
Yeah,
so that could be it.
Yeah.
2077 was Lamentis, but yeah, like. So it takes place throughout all the timelines. And then also, like, if you remember, this version of Loki was taken from 2012, right after the first Avengers. So, and then we also don't know where this Lady Loki came from and everything like that. So it's like, it doesn't take place anywhere. It can take place anywhere on the timeline of WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, Endgame, and all that stuff. Yeah. But we do know all the events from Endgame still happened, because Loki saw the events take place.
Exactly. That was the timeline that the TVA wants to happen.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
But so when they end up on Lamentis, she basically tells him, like, out of all the apocalypses, or is it apocalypse? I don't know. Is that the plural of apocalypse? Yeah, apocalypse. Apocalypses, apocalypse, or whatever. She said this is the worst one, because nobody makes it out alive.
Yeah. And
the whole planet is destroyed. So she tries to escape. They fight. They do more fighting, and she tries to get the little time pad, but it turns out like the battery died. They ain't charge it up. They need like a Apple Wi-Fi charger to get. So then they're looking for a way to charge it, and so they're exploring the planet, trying to find a place to charge the phone. And Loki's trying to get more information about her, and that's when he learns. They end up in like what I call like the Star Wars cantina, more or less. And yeah, pretty much. And they almost kind of had like the same type of music or whatever.
Yeah.
And during that conversation, that's when they actually get this reveal. Because I see some people being excited about it or whatever, but I'm just like,
I feel the same way you feel. But I think that if Lady Loki, Sylvia is a trans character, I think that might be even more important, but I don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if Disney would do anything that big.
Probably not. I don't know how they work with that. But yeah, like I saw so during this conversation they kind of reference, and I just see like Kaylee, happy Loki is canonically bisexual. So yeah, during that conversation they talk about, she's like, "Oh, you're a prince. Is there a princess waiting for you, or maybe another prince?" And so basically both Lokis are confirmed to be bisexual. And I'm like, okay, that's great and all, but this is my big issue with a lot of these things. Like, you keep telling me, but not showing me. Like, it's like, yay, okay,
Yeah.
you're right, but like
a flashback or something.
Are they going to do more? Are they going to do more with that, or that's going to be like the one reference? Okay, guys, you got your canonically LGBT Loki's bi, guys, but kind of the same way how I feel about Wonder Woman. It's like Wonder Woman's bi, but you never seen her with another woman, so it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Same with Deadpool. Deadpool's pansexual, but you never seen him outside of an alternate universe dating another guy. So it's like, who cares? So yeah, but I mean, ultimately though, I still enjoyed the conversation though, and learning more, like, you know, learning more about Loki's backstory, you know, his connection, how much he really does love his mother, and things like that.
Some of that in the first episode. Do you Loki was like drinking a lot this episode? Do you think he really was drinking, or was he just playing that up?
No, I think he was drinking because like. As like a callback to like his Asgardian upbringing, because like they even talked about like what like not talked about, but it was a callback to this moment right here, and
another
and the original Thor movie. Yeah. So I think he was actually drinking. It's just to show like Asgardians, even though he's not technically Asgardian, but still like they do drink. So and I like that moment. Another.
Yeah, but like he was drinking so much, I guess at a point where I thought he was like quitting, like he just wanted to kind of just end it all at one point during that.
See, now you took it. I don't think he was quitting.
I think he was quitting. That's how I felt until that fight started. You know,
because I mean, I'm like I don't see Loki as a quitter, but I think he just wanted to, I don't know, let his hair loose.
It was very somber mood, you know.
Yeah, it was.
We're not getting out of here. I think he said something like, "We're not getting out of here," something like that. And then towards the end of the episode, it's like he kind of built back up, like they broke him down and built him back up again.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he was playing it up. I think he was playing some of it up, but I do think he was actually drinking. But I do think he was also trying to lower the walls and let down the guard of the variant Loki.
That's lower her walls. Yeah.
Because he is trying to get more information out of her and figure out what her end game is, because we still don't really know what she's trying. I mean, take over the TVA, or destroy the TVA, but then what?
I think that is her end game, just chaos.
Yeah, because he even kind of because he was like, okay, you do that, but then what? Like almost kind of the same thing when that Mobius asked him. Okay, you take over the world, but then like what happens then?
Yeah.
So he tried to pull the same thing with her, and she was like, I don't have that. That's all I want to do. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
About anything. But
we need to get that part of her backstory of why this Loki is the way this Loki is. So.
And even with that, like, and getting some of her backstory, like, and the differences between the two Lokis, like this version of Loki, Lady Loki, she didn't know her mother. She had, so the way that she learned magic was she was self-taught.
Yeah.
So that's why
she also doesn't consider herself a god, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Because even during the fight when Loki was like, when he hid the time pad and he was able to do all this other stuff, she's like, so what are you, just a magician? Or everything. So it's like, yeah, it shows that he has more tricks than she does, but at the same time, because she's self-taught, she's able to do things that even he was asking like about the enchantment, and things like that. How I was able to do that. So, I mean,
towards the end of the series, you'll see either one of them using the other powers, like her doing some of the stuff that Loki can do.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was just about to say, I think Loki's going to learn how to do enchantment at a certain point, and maybe she'll learn how to shapeshift or whatever if she doesn't already. Because I'm assuming if she's now Sylvie,
then maybe.
So yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. But wait, especially if she's trans, they did cast a cis woman. So wait, hold on. Let me go back and see what the first part of the comment. Oh, yeah. She could be trans, which not sure how to feel about it. It feels icky. And generally the shapeshifting is just a perk on being transgender fluid. It's not the thing that makes them that though. So basically saying, they wouldn't like that if they're trans because it's played by a cis woman. I mean, I would agree with that if they're going that route.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing with like magic and things, like you can get away with that when it comes to shapeshifting. That's why like a lot of trans people also say they don't like that, because then it gives it like an easy way out to say, oh yeah, you're shapeshifting, so now you're a real woman.
Like even with in the comics, like Loki, Lady Loki, like is Loki bisexual in the comics? Because if he's changing into a woman to be with a man, then he's just a woman. You know what I mean? He's not a
Yeah.
man with a man or a woman with a
Well,
woman.
no, they say Loki is bisexual in the comics because even in Young Avengers when he was when he looked like himself, the Loki that we know, he tried to flirt. He flirted with Prodigy. And like New Year's, he was like, "You humans have a tradition on New Year's where it's like you guys kiss at the stroke of midnight." He was like basically wanting to get, and Prodigy was like, "Nah, I don't like villains. I like good guys." And he was like, "Okay, all right." So that was his bisexual moment. You didn't see it, but it was just like just the fact that he wanted to or he tried to. But then it's like anybody could interpret that anyway. It's like, oh, well, it's Loki. He could have just been joking. It's like I hate when they do stuff like that because other people could interpret it and say, nah, it's not true. It's not true. Y'all are reading into things. And it's like, we're not though. Like it's so obvious. But anyway, so they have that whole fight that they have with they get caught because they don't have tickets on the train. It seems, and in a very like
ticket.
Yeah, and in a very even on other planets, they're still capitalists because they talk about oh, you're just letting the rich people get away, and things like that. But real quick, Kaylee Demo, Loki is bisexual and gender fluid in the comics. But so they get into the fight, and as usual, Loki gets his ass beat. he tries to throw the knife. He misses completely. Lady Loki makes a joke like, "Oh, you terrible throw."
Yeah,
and he gets thrown out the train, and Lady Loki throws herself out the train too because she's like, he has the time pad. Yeah, she needs him, and that's when you get this shot right here, which actually basically confirms that this is that this was Lady Loki. Because remember before, like when they were shooting, we saw the back of this shot, and people were wondering like, oh, is that Vormir? Is that Black Widow?
Oh yeah.
And now basically you're confirming like, no, this is the shot, and it's Lady Loki and it's Lamentis. It's not Vormir. So we're not. And granted, obviously there's still 3 more episodes left, but we're not going to see Black Widow in this series like a lot of people thought. But this scene also is very kind of reminiscent of what happened in the first Thor movie, where Thor was upset. Was it the first Thor movie or the second Thor movie?
Where Thor was upset about.
I remember when it was the first Thor movie when he thought he was going to be king, and his father was like, "Nah, like you're too ready. You're too arrogant." He got upset, and Loki came and tried to comfort him or whatever, and they kind of sat in almost the same type of way. So I mean, it's kind of reminded me of that. And so they have the conversation. Loki's trying to continue to appeal to her, and I'm like, did you think this was genuine, or did you think he was still trying to manipulate her?
I always think Loki's about the manipulation. That's why I asked you think the drinking was real. Like, are we seeing character development, or are we just seeing Loki be Loki?
See, I think it might be a little bit of both. Because we know, Loki always has a game, but at the same time, we also know that deep down, like what Mobius called him, he's a child. He's searching.
Yeah, he doesn't want to really hurt anybody. It just happens throughout the course of him being him. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of both. And hold up, what is this class? Class is over. The fun has arrived. Well, thank you for joining, Jessica, right after class. But Loki is a manipulator. I mean, he is, but he's also like I mentioned, he's also searching for some type of connection. Because even going back to the whole conversation about where they talked about the lovers, and which is why I'm like, could they show this? Like, you could tell he was hurt by it when he thought when she brought it up. He was like, yeah, like I've had both, and it ultimately didn't work out, like for whatever reason. You could see it affecting him. So I'm like, what is this? What is this story? We're never going to hear about it.
Yeah, well, no, we're never going to hear about it, which is trash.
Yeah.
What is this? Maybe the end game is free will to let the multiverse evolve. The timekeepers may have decided to her timeliness was unnecessary, and she resents that.
That's a good theory. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why she wants. Yeah, maybe that's why she wants to destroy.
Why do the timekeepers get to decide which timeline is the correct one?
Yeah. And then also with that, like we find out a little. Was it? Wait, no, actually, no. So it was before this scene. So I missed a big part. So before all this happens, we find out that Lady Loki reveals that everybody that works in the TVA are actually variants of some kind.
That happens before this?
I think it does. Or no.
Whatever. Regardless.
Whatever it happens. it happens. But yeah, I think it does happen after this, because then they're like, what happens? Yada yada yada. They walk into the city. And yeah, she reveals that everybody who works at the TVA are variants. And Loki's like, wait, do they know this? And apparently they don't. So that includes Mobius himself.
Yeah.
Which
so the whole thing about everybody being created there. And
created by the Timekeepers is a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder, and I have a theory about this, and I don't know if it may be a complete out there theory, but I'm like, okay, so if they're all variants of some kind, and this show has been about catching a variant of Loki, what if it turns out that the reason that somebody like a Mobius is so willing to accept Loki, so easily defending Loki, has such of a connection and knows Loki so well? What if it turns out that he himself is like an older variant of Loki?
That's very, very outside the comics, but very MCU.
Yes, I mean,
MCU.
Even them being variants is very outside the comics.
Yeah, true. Very MCU. It could happen, yeah.
So I'm like, that would I wouldn't hate that if that ended up being the case. But I was like, that might be a little out there. That might be too out there.
I also started to think the Timekeepers are all one person. Well, they're all three different Kangs from different times, like a Mortis, Kang, and maybe another one. You know,
I mean, it could be three different Kangs, but I would prefer like Kang to be like the one in the multiverse.
Yeah,
I think that would make him appear more powerful.
But not three different Kangs, like a variant, like three different Kangs from three different times.
Oh yeah. Oh, so kind of like Thor,
past, present, future Kang.
Yeah, past, present, future Kang, like they did with Thor and the God Butcher storyline.
Yeah,
no, I would like that too.
Yeah,
well, no, this is funny. Or he could just be into Loki. I mean, maybe he could be.
Yeah,
but yeah, so we find that out, and I'm curious to see where they go with that, and then they after this storyline, because they're trying to figure out again more ways to get off this planet with the device being destroyed now. So they decide maybe they can alter the timeline, create another branch reality by saying, and according to TVA, this world is destroyed and nobody makes it out, but we weren't here, so maybe we can alter things. So they try to go towards the ship, and it was a cool action scene that happened in this moment. It was like a big one take fight that happened right here.
They were like walking through all the
CGI. Basically walking through the green screen. Yeah. But still, the way they shot it, and plus it did look, even though you could tell it was hella CGI and green screen, it still looked nice.
Yeah.
They still spent some money on it.
Yeah.
But you could definitely tell it was like a TV warehouse. It didn't look as good as like the first two episodes.
Yeah. But Loki seems so like, I don't want to say weak in this moment, but like he seemed too good. It's happening too fast for me. He seemed too good. He's like, we can do it. We can make it. That just did not sit right with me. You know, it just wasn't very Loki like.
No, not even just that, but like I mentioned before, I feel like they're pulling like shit out their ass when it comes to like Loki and his powers. Like, where's these energy blasts coming from and all this other stuff? And then also like. I just lost my train of thought. Fuck, I forgot what I lost. What I was about to say.
His ass. He's like fucking doing all kinds of magic shit you never seen him do before.
I still lost what I was gonna say. I don't remember. Fuck, what was I about to say? It was well, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, like I going back to the one shot. Like I thought it was a nice shot. I thought it was something that kept the camera thing interesting. Oh, now I remember. Like I just felt like. They try to make Loki appear more powerful than he is by giving him all this magic, but they keep like underhanding him at the same time. Because like even with the magic, he was still kind of getting beat up. Yeah. And it was like Like,
and aren't these regular people? And isn't Loki a god?
Yeah, that's my point though. Like,
exactly, yeah.
They
keep
keep
superpowered beings like Avengers or something, or
they keep underhanding him, and I'm just like,
do.
what is that? What is that about? Like, I don't know.
Comedic effect.
Maybe I don't know, but I wasn't laughing. Were you?
I wasn't.
But what I think the timekeepers might be fake, like Oz, just three beings that were made up so someone can have power over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they're fake, but I think the mythology surrounding
the sacred time and all that is BS,
might be fake. But I definitely think because they confirmed Kang the Conqueror is real,
mm-hmm.
and Kang the Conqueror is a huge time. Not overlord, not overlord, but like
time,
yeah. But he's a huge time character in the MCU.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely curious. I mean, and I don't know if he's going to show up, but I will be a little disappointed if he doesn't show up.
I don't think he's going to show up in form. Maybe they'll talk about him more and confirm it's all him. Maybe we'll see another cartoon of him or something like that. But I don't think we're going to see Jonathan Majors in it.
But they're asked because you didn't give your opinion. But what did you think about the fact that they're all variants?
It shocked me a little bit. I was like, why would they do that? But but it shows that one person could have created all these variants themselves, or maybe the multiverse was a thing, and somebody just said, nah, I don't like this, and tried to make one timeline streamline one timeline one way just because they thought it was best,
And I mean,
kind of thing they'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with this, like a black mom controlling time, like it'd be a black power couple controlling time, because Ravonna in the comics, that's Kang the Conqueror's lady. Mm-hmm. So you got Kang the Conqueror and Ravonna, you got two black people controlling the timeline.
I actually sent it to one of my friends. Like, even the statue of Kang, I was like, look, they got black people as statues in the future, because you rarely ever see it's depicted in futuristic stuff, like unless it's Afrofuturism. It's like when white people make stuff, there's no black people in the future. You know what I mean?
No,
so we're at the end of time, outside of time, and there's black people in charge. It's like, no
black people in the future, no black people in fantasy.
Exactly.
Like you think of Lord of the Rings and things like that, or you got like what's his face? One black person in Harry Potter. I can't think of his name. Dean.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody would say, well, this takes place in such and such, but this stuff doesn't happen in such and such. Like, this whole world is fantasy. This could be an entire world where, slavery didn't exist and people didn't live here and there. Like, we don't get enough fantasy. There's actually I just saw a fantasy. I think I missed the Kickstarter, but like a D&D fantasy game, a D&D style fantasy game with all about black people. I'll send the link. I wish I could think of the name right now, but it looked really cool.
I know. I would love that, because
I
thought
about buying it. And I was like, I'm not gonna have enough people to play with.
I don't know if you ever played the game Dragon Age.
Yeah,
but I love the game Dragon Age, and I love the world and the fantasy lore and everything like that. And I keep saying, like, dang, wouldn't it be great to have like a world like that with like black people? Because we don't really like I said, when it comes to high fantasy, you don't really see us black elves.
I'm actually looking for it right now.
Even though the show ended up being trash and they turned Bonnie into a mammy, that's one of the things that really made me
Motherlands. It's called Motherlands.
But I was saying that's the thing that really got me invested in Vampire Diaries at first, because anytime you saw like a witch in that world, they were black. And I was like, oh shit, that's something you never saw before. But then they like hashtag Bonnie deserved better. Like, they treated Bonnie like basically a magical Negro, literally. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is fucking trash. But what is it? What if Ravonna knows about the variant thing? Poor Mobius. No.
She's the only one that's not a variant.
I definitely think she knows.
Yeah, she's the only one that's probably not a variant.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the case. Everybody's a variant but her.
Yeah.
And she's manipulating. I still stand by, like, her and Kang are just manipulating the whole thing. Or it might not even be Kang. It might just be her. Yeah. Maybe Kang left this whole thing to her. So, but they were so racist to Kat. They really did her wrong. I completely agree. Like, like I said, Bonnie deserved better. But real quick, I see I got 24 people here in the stream, at least on YouTube. Again, it doesn't tell me how many people are watching on Facebook, but I see I got 3 likes on Facebook. But if you are watching, if you could do me a favor and hit the like button, thank you so much for joining. Like I said earlier in the chat, you could have been anywhere on the internet because everybody's going live tonight.
Everybody's out here.
Yeah, everybody's going live tonight to talk episode 3 of Loki, like the big YouTubers.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys for being here to join. But yeah, what was I saying? So final shot. Oh, so yeah, final shot. We see them running to try to get to the time thing, and then we see nope. They play when you know how they say when you make plans, God laughs. So that's basically what happened. That's basically what happened here. It's like the timekeepers were like, "Oh, you thought you was gonna manipulate." And obviously, it wasn't the timekeepers, but just for the sake of the conversation, like they were like, "Oh, bitch, you thought you were gonna be able to."
Bitch, you thought.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna be able to change the timeline. Nah, this ship's about to get destroyed. So that whole fucking moon crashed into the ship, and they were staring like, what's the final shot? Hold up, I think I got it on here. That final shot, them staring out, looking like Boo Boo the Fool, like, oh fuck, what we gonna do now? And then Lady Loki just she like she's the one that gets defeated in this moment. She just walks away, defeated. Like what
I want to say it's a cliffhanger, but
it wasn't. To me, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah. Besides finding out about everybody being a variant, I don't need this entire episode.
Yeah. So like, even though like, this episode ended on a cliffhanger where he's just like, dun dun dun, they're stuck on a planet. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? But I'm like, there's 3 more episodes left. Like, we know
what's gonna happen. Mobius is gonna pop up. He's gonna take both of them into custody, and then we're gonna have like a jail theme episode or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. But like you said, like the biggest information that we got from this episode was everybody in the TVA were variants. But I'm like, I didn't need all this.
You could have showed us that, and not told us that too. Like you could have had a scene where you figured that out. Like I really like when stuff shows you, not tells you. You know.
But yeah, I didn't need all this Lamentis nonsense. Like this felt like not a waste of time, but this basically just felt like a useless episode. Yeah,
and for a series that usually these series were like, oh my god, there wasn't enough time, so maybe the story is not that long. You know, maybe they're gonna get to the point pretty quick. So
yeah, this was the shortest episode.
It felt like a filler to me, a filler episode.
Yeah, this episode was only 38 minutes.
Yeah,
and like I don't know.
I don't feel like I got the besides the bisexuality. I don't feel like I got to know Loki more. I definitely didn't get to know Lady Loki at all. Besides that, she had a harder life than regular Loki. Like I didn't learn anything. There was nothing extra exciting. Nothing. No cool Easter eggs. Nothing.
No, that's another thing I was thinking. I was like, there weren't even any. Yeah, there weren't even really any Easter eggs in this episode. Besides, like a couple callbacks to other shows or other movie, like the another moment, or bringing up his mother and things like that. But in terms of like you know the other episodes,
and I got enough of his mother in the first episode. He already lamented on that. So
yeah, pretty much. But real quick, bruh, I haven't been to a live in so long. Well, thank you, the real Arendando, for joining me in live, and welcome back. So yeah, I appreciate you. But yeah, like, because I was like, okay, maybe there was certain like drops of things that they put in this episode. Maybe Lamentis is an important thing, and it's like, nah, it wasn't that important. And then you watch the rest of the episode, like you see the sword, the Asgardian sword, but it's like, nah, it's not that important. And then you don't learn. Like I thought this episode, you know, especially with him following Lady Loki,
it could have been a Lady Loki focused.
It could have been a Lady Loki focused episode, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like so, it was just like and like I said, after the second watch, I appreciated this episode more than I did the first time. But still, I'm just like,
I would never watch this episode again.
No, I wouldn't. Like, obviously, I watched it again, but that was only because I was going live.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I get everything, and then also get all my pictures and things like that.
It was homework. It wasn't for fun.
Yeah, it was homework. Yeah, pretty much. But I was just like, what was the point? And then not even just that, but yeah, Marilyn. I was literally just about to say it, but I'm like, they didn't even have a post.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, they didn't even have a post credit, and I was waiting for it too. Like, I thought,
like, yo, okay, this episode was filler, but they're gonna lead us in with something.
Yeah. Nah, that was just like, again, bitch, you thought. Even with the way the episode ended with the ominous music that they were playing, I was like, oh, like the type of music they were playing, I'm like, oh, this is gonna lead into a post-credit scene.
Yeah, but they didn't. What I noticed was at the end though was Kang's face again. At the very end of the episode, it was like a shot of Kang's face.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but that was it. It wasn't like anything special. We were just like,
but hey, Sheeta, why are all the episodes so short? I mean, this episode was short. I don't think episodes 1 and 2 were short. They were basically like 52 minutes, which is basically an hour. That's the longest of all, like Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. But then you get to this episode and went right back to like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was one of my biggest complaints about that. I was like, these episodes are too short. And then I was like, oh, they're not doing that for Loki. And then you get to this episode and it was like, what the hell is this? And then not only the fact that this episode was short, but like I said, I feel like this was a nothing episode.
Yeah, nothing.
So I guess, and actually, this is cool. I didn't notice this. So yeah, I guess it tells you who's commented from where. I just noticed the icon, like when people comment, like you see the YouTube icon
Facebook,
here.
YouTube,
you see the YouTube icon. So she's watching from Facebook. So yeah.
I hopefully the next episode, like I think it's gonna be like a jail episode. I think Mobius is gonna come save them right before the plane blows up, and just lock them both up, and they're gonna interrogate Lady Loki and spill the beans on her backstory.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know
because they can't. I don't think they'll just kill her because she's done a whole bunch of stuff, and they probably want to figure out how they can reverse it. So
yeah, but thoughts on people who are shipping Loki and Sylvie? Honestly, it just feels as wrong. Pretty much, it feels as wrong as shipping Loki and Thor because they're basically twins. But since it's a man and a woman, suddenly everyone ships it. I mean, yeah. Everybody has a problem when you ship two men together, but ship a man and a woman, it's like, oh, that's considered okay. But as far as Loki and Sylvie, yes, like I said, masturbation, because they're both Loki, right?
Yeah.
But as far as people shipping Thor and Loki, even though I do kind of feel it a little icky, I don't have a problem with it in the sense that because they're not technically
gods.
Well, not even just that, but they're not like blood brothers.
Oh, true.
I had to think about it. I was like, well, if I'm okay with Barry and Iris from The Flash, because they were both raised as siblings
in that show,
and now they're in that show, and now they're married and about to have kids, and it's okay. I'm like, it's essentially to say, granted, obviously Thor and Loki's not happening now, but still, I was like, I mean, whatever. I guess because at first I was like, what? They're brothers? Like, no, but I will say. For those of you that are fans of Supernatural, I don't kink shame, and I made this a TikTok video. I don't kink shame, but if the people that ship Sam and Dean on Supernatural, that's fucking disgusting because they are biologically blood brothers.
Yeah,
and they have a whole ship called Winchester, so they know what they're doing. Like incest,
I didn't even know about that.
Incest, that's nasty.
Yeah, now because you confirmed that Loki's like in the comics, like gender fluid, bisexual, whatever. How come we haven't had like a Loki Hercules thing?
I don't even know. Because I'm like, now that you say that,
yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
They should totally be a thing then.
That'll actually be good. But they try to go fast and loose with Hercules' bisexuality because Axel Alonso, when he was editor-in-chief at Marvel at the time, he was like, oh, when Hercules got his own solo comic, he was like, oh yeah, we're not gonna have him be bisexual or whatever in his comics. Like that was an Elseworld thing. But I'm like, Loki and Hercules, that would actually be good.
I ship it, make it so.
But are they gonna have Hercules show up in the MCU? Because they did tease that Zeus, or they didn't tease. Gerard Butler confirmed that he is playing Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, could that be a thing for Hercules? Hercules showing up? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Winchester is so popular on Wattpad, and I don't understand it at all. Like, I like Dean and Castiel. Do you watch Supernatural?
Not really.
But yeah, DL, that's what I like. Bisexual Planet. You gotta. That's Bitch Planet right there. You gotta read.
Oh, Bitch Planet. Yeah, I love that comic actually.
But real quick, we got even though we've been going for like, and we're kind of about to wrap up because we pretty much finished most of the
it was another episode.
Most of the episode. We do got a little special guest jumping in on the stream really quick. It's Mobius. Mobius is showing up.
Oh, to
saving us from the stream. So you guys know him before. You've seen him on my live stream before, but we got a whole chat, the three of us, including Frank, and so four of us, which includes Frankie. We call ourselves the Omega level niggas. You got one N-word in the stream. But yeah, I tried to get him on earlier. But yeah, here we go. James.
Hey, I just want to say y'all have done a fabulous job. I know I miss half this shit. What's going on, y'all?
It's fine. How you doing? Introduce yourself real quick and give your quick thoughts on what you thought of this episode of Loki.
Hey, James Graham, Master Facts voice, creator of the Facts Project podcast, and also 1/4 of the Omega level niggas. This episode. I mean, look, when you start to build up character development in Loki in that sense, it's not necessarily a filler episode. I felt like I got more out of this and how I perceived Loki in the long term of how this is going to play out. Because my prediction is that in some point in time, Loki does finally just end up vanishing from the earth and the Enchantress just continues on the MCU. That's just me.
See, I was thinking with the time variance thing, I was thinking that they would probably go the route, especially knowing that Young Avengers are coming, that the Loki that we're going to get from this point on, it was going to be Kid Loki.
See, that's a perception, but only if it appears in this series. I just think that Tom Hiddleston is pretty much, this is his curtain call, and that's it. Definitely. And then the Enchantress.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yeah. So the way this is playing out with him so far, it's looking good on paper but the thing is, this whole background, I know Ron's got his theories for Kang and everything like that, and no, that could be a prelude to how big this could get. If they allude on the next big bad heading into the MCU within one of their streaming services, the MCU streaming services on Disney Plus are going to live for life because they know that they can reveal that much in small ass episodes. It's going to be a game changer. It already is.
Yeah, but real quick, Sammy McClinton, yo, make a t-shirt or make a level.
Yo, I need that shit for real.
I gotta find somebody who can do the artwork.
Yeah, I was gonna say any designers out there do the artwork.
Word.
But yeah, we're turning into a whole night TV special guest appearances. Yeah, this is we're like the Hellfire Gala right here.
Yeah, straight up. All I need is my best Kanye outfit, and I'll be fine.
But real quick, multi fandom studio said, I think that Sylvie ain't a variant of Loki, but she killed the Loki of her timeline. Probably, but I don't think so, because I mean she has all the the Asgardian sword. She has the knowledge and everything like that. Plus the power, where'd the power come from?
Yeah. And she says, "Don't call me Loki." Like, not if she wasn't Loki, she'd be like, "I'm not Loki."
Yeah,
saying, "Don't call me Loki." Like,
I'm not Loki anymore.
It sounds like she's annoyed by it, you know.
And you can tell her timeline is different because, where Loki speaks on his mother so eloquently, she's like, "I ain't even know my mom. We're both adopted."
Exactly.
You were adopted. I was adopted too.
Yeah.
She was like, "I ain't even know mine. That shit is like a glimmer. I don't even know that lady."
Yeah.
But I was adopted because variants have different storylines. Like Miles Morales has a different storyline than Peter Parker does. It sounds like the same story. There's no Uncle Ben or anything like that. But the thing is,
Peter is Miles' Uncle Ben, but whatever.
Yeah, basically,
he was supposed to be.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Absolutely.
But so apparently Kaylee, she liked this episode because she said, "Thank you, James, for clearing up all this negativity."
Y'all was in here bullshitting.
I mean, no,
it wasn't negative.
It wasn't. I was like, it wasn't negative. We just said, it was just like I didn't hate this episode, but I thought it was basically filler. I thought this episode was kind of not useless, but
no,
I have no reason to watch this episode again compared to episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah. Once again, like I said, when they're building up character affirmations and everything, as to who you in this episode, I had to learn who the Enchantress is.
But we didn't though, like not really.
We knew that she was. We knew that she was a variant. We had to learn about her timeline. It kind of resembles similar to Loki, although it doesn't have those valid viewpoints. And that's pretty much it. We know exactly what she does when she conquers an enchantment. We know that too, but there's nothing else. But we might see more. Like they're not going to give you everything in one episode.
No, but you also got to keep
nothing in this episode.
Yeah, that too. You didn't really get nothing in this episode, but then also with that, like you have to keep in mind, there's only 6 episodes. We're already at the halfway point.
Well, remember for Falcon and Winter Soldier, we were like at episode 4. We were like, okay, where's this motherfucking shit going? There's no more Isaiah Bradley. Like, what's really happening here? And then all of a sudden, it was like, bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah, for episode 5, but then we got to episode 6, and it was like bomb, 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 bomb.
But it bumped right back up, though. You know what I'm saying?
For episode 6?
Yeah, for 6, 7, and 8. Well, not necessarily.
I'm like, what show were you watching?
The finale was whack. Sorry about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was like, you talking about
stress.
Yeah, that's episode 6. Yeah, you were the main one.
Should have ended episode 5.
One. Oh yeah. Okay, all right. I'll give you that. I did say it could have ended at episode 5 because that was actually pure facts. But
yeah,
I didn't like the reveals at the end. I didn't like the statue and all that other bullshit. Putting them in the back corner of the museum and all that.
Well, yeah, like Jessica, we on the same wave. She was like, "Yeah, this episode wasn't trash. No, I don't think it was trash, but it was light compared to the first. We
probably set the bar too high. The first 2 episodes. We were expecting a lot and got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like there could have been more Gugu as she's known. What's her name?
Yeah, there definitely was.
If there was more, if there was more relevance,
if
there was more relevance towards her character and who she is in the TVA. You know what I'm saying? Because we know her as what, Ravina in the comics?
Ravonna, yeah.
Yeah. Now, play off of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we could have cut this up into portions. We could have got a piece of whatever origin story that the Enchantress has going on, and then we could have got a piece of, Ravonna's, who's basically Kang's boo.
But we didn't.
We didn't.
That's garbage.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing.
Not garbage, but yeah.
But if this was character development for her, maybe the next one is for Ravonna.
But you keep saying that, but I'm like, but we didn't. There was no character development for her. Like,
I had a hard knock life.
All we really got is both Lokis are bisexual. That's it. Like,
which is probably what they all have in common.
But it's like who cares? But and I kind of thought this too. Narise 21. What if this all was played in Loki's head by Sylvie? I mean, maybe. But to what end though? Because she even said in the last episode, like, none of this is about you.
Yeah.
So like,
when did she touch Loki? She touched him before they went to that world.
No, she touched him when they were already in the world.
In the world. And he was like, "Are you trying to do an enchantment on me?"
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Which they never fully explained. Like
they didn't explain that part at all.
They could inception us. They could.
They could. This could be a whole mind.
And that would also make this entire episode pointless.
True. Because now that if it's a dream sequence, if this whole thing is a dream sequence like an episode of Lost, then this whole show is trash.
I wouldn't say the whole shit because we still don't know where they're going for episodes 4. But I don't know this thing, especially after this episode, because I think about the 3rd episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, where even though I didn't hate that episode, after the first 2 episodes, I was still like, all right, I mean, this was fine, but like, where are they going? I'm like, and it's giving me that same thing with this show. It's like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm hoping not Loki, but it just seems like, based on the 2 shows, like they start strong, but they can't stick the landing. It ends on a disappointing note. And I was hoping Loki wouldn't be that. Obviously, again, we still don't know, but like just based on this episode being the week one, where I was excited about this episode after last week's episode and the cliffhanger. I was like, episode 3, let's go. And then I was like,
maybe that's the reason why there's not that many episodes. Probably figured they couldn't pull it off in like a 10, like how WandaVision was probably too long, and where Falcon and the Winter Soldier might have been too long. There was like 6 episodes.
Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier was 6 episodes too.
Yeah. That shit was too long.
Nah, I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been longer. That's why I feel like the problem, because like they could have had, if it was longer, they could have, because what was our complaints? We didn't feel shit from the Flag Smashers. If it was longer, they could have developed that. We could have got a whole we could have got a flashback episode of like what Kaylee, what the fuck was her life? Carly's life was like during the blip, and why the Flag Smashers became the terrorist organization that they were. We could have seen more of a connection and a buildup between Battle Coon and U.S. Agent. So then that way, when he actually died, we could have actually felt something for his character, as opposed to like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't really want to get to know exactly what the Benetton crew were doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to know their origin story or anything that they were conjuring up. But
it didn't even matter. Even if they gave us that backstory, Marvel would have still gave us that Killmonger effect, you know?
Yeah. What I wanted was more Patriot. I wanted Isaiah Bradley to give us like more depth into Eli, because he had 4 lines in the entire series.
Just a glimpse. Just see him bend some metal or something. Show me something.
That's what I was hoping would happen at the end. Like when he finally accepted himself as Captain America, and Isaiah was like, "Oh, so you gonna do this? You actually gonna do this? You could possibly die." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." So I thought the next line was gonna be, "Well, my grandson right here is a trained super soldier, so you may need some like backup or whatever. If you ever need some backup."
I wouldn't say it'd be whack if he was trained already. But he.
Oh yeah, well no, or just say, but you get what I was saying. Like he's a super soldier, so like if you need some backup, like here you go. But nah, they ain't do that. So hopefully that doesn't mean that they're not gonna do Patriot. I hope they do him as Patriot.
So many young.
But I'm saying I hope they do him as Patriot and not the racial, because I don't like the the new Patriot.
Yeah, no, I hope it's him. I hope it's the whoever the young boy that we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I hope it's him.
I mean, at the end of this, maybe we can see Sylvie start the Young Avengers, or bring
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Maybe because in the comic, Loki created her to spy on them, so maybe they'll change.
I think they're going to make America Chavez a Nexus being too. So I think on that.
I believe that as well.
Yeah,
maybe
she's going to be in the Marvels too, right?
Yeah, she can go to multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
What's her introduction? She's going to be in the Marvels, or she's going to be in Quantumania?
She's going to be in Miss Marvel, I think.
No. She's America Chavez is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, okay, got you.
Which I'm still curious of how does she fit in the whole thing?
She fits because she can just go to whatever dimension she wants to.
But so can Wanda though. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, have we seen Wanda do that in the MCU? No.
But just the fact that
America's power.
Yeah, that is her power. But I'm like, if they confirm her as a Nexus being, and now they're building all this stuff in Loki, this Loki show, like they confirm what a Nexus event is, and then they say she's a Nexus being. It's like, why do they need 2? I don't know. I feel like that's a little strange. Like, why not have her show up at Captain Marvel? Why not have her show up in like Captain Marvel or something like that?
True.
But another comment, Multi-Fandom Studios. To be honest, let's face it, Sylvie is kind of just bad writing at this point, because supposedly the TVA erases the timelines as soon as they go away from their original storyline. So why is her story so different?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because it could be that her timeline was erased, but somehow kind of like Loki, because they kind of alluded that Loki's timeline was reset.
Yeah,
right.
But he still got away.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk about why every person that works for the TVA are variants?
Yeah, we did. I said, so I gave a theory real quick, and I want to know what you thought about it. But I was like, with the reveal that everybody in the TVA are variants, what if it turns out that the reason that Mobius is so connected to Loki, the reason he understands Loki so much, the reason he defends Loki so much is because it's going to be revealed that he himself is a variant of Loki.
I like that.
That's a theory of mine. Mm-hmm. But what are your thoughts about the whole variant situation?
No, I mean, I was wondering if everybody that works for the TVA is a variant, who could he be? But that's a good one. Mm. The fact that he likes jet skis is supposed to be some type of fucking hint. Hopefully it ain't Namor. He likes water and shit.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I would hope not.
I will hope not. I don't want Namor to be a white guy.
No.
Especially Owen Wilson.
Right.
But no, the only person we talk about this, the only person that we don't think is a variant is Ravonna.
Yeah.
And she knows, they're all variants.
Yeah.
And she's
the only person that can talk to the timekeepers.
Yeah, she's manipulating the whole thing.
Like I don't know if you heard it. I said I'm starting to think the timekeepers are all Kang, like just a past, present, and future Kang.
So basically, Iron Lad, Kang, and Immortus.
That's what I said. Yeah.
I didn't even think the Iron Lad angle. I was just thinking, but
it would all be three versions of Nathaniel Richards: young, middle-aged, older.
Yeah, not variants, just three different ones right there existing. All three existing outside of time, but from three different times.
Mm-hmm.
But what is this? If Marvel fucks up Young Avengers, that even by casting it seems like it, I can't do it anymore, kids. I hope they don't fuck up.
The reveals have been good so far.
Yeah.
How they've been playing into everybody. The only person that they haven't introduced is Hulkling, and he could be kind of.
They mentioned him.
Hulk,
mentioned him though.
Hulk.
They mentioned Hulkling.
Was.
Oh no, I'm
like,
not even thinking Hulkling. I'm thinking.
I'm like, where did they mention Hulkling?
I'm thinking Braun. I'm bringing Cho. Cho used to be the Hulk.
Oh, Amadeus Cho.
His mother was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
but
with the Skrulls in the MCU,
Hulkling and Iron Lad are the only two that we're missing now. And
Kang is Iron Lad, so
but I'm saying, but we haven't really gotten Kang yet. So
the best way to do it for Hulkling is if they really perpetuate the Skrull War in the next Captain Marvel, the Marvels or whatever it is. Because that whole thing breaks out because of a romance that supposedly happens between Princess Ilaria and Marvel in the comics that creates Hulkling. But we know the MCU spins everything, so it'll be some monarchy type Kree, some monarchy type Skrull.
Yeah, because the way they did Marvel was vastly different.
Oh, it was horrible. Even the Supreme Intelligence in Captain Marvel. Supposed to be a gigantic brain inside of like some ambionic green fluid, but it ends up being a net Benning.
Yeah, it was bad what they did, how they did it. I ain't like
made
that.
$1 billion, still counting them dollars.
Yeah, it made $1 billion. It made $1 billion, but it didn't make $1 billion. It didn't make $1 billion because of that. That
shuts me up. It was like, yo, that movie was horrible. It made $1 billion. All right, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that bad.
But I'm like, but so did Transformers. Which one?
Oh man, Annie Michael Bay Transformers. God damn.
I used to give the first one some slack, but not even.
I'm not talking about the first. I think it was like the fourth one. I can't remember the name of it, but that one like
Outside of the Moon.
Yeah, that one made $1 billion, and that shit was terrible.
People go see it for the effects. The effects, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But what is this? Am I the only one that's afraid that they will mix up Prodigy and Patriot? I don't think they are.
I hope not.
I don't even think they're going to introduce a Prodigy.
Prodigy's not going to get introduced at all.
Yeah, which I mean, that'd be sad. But what is it? I still think Ravonna may be the great and powerful Wizard of Oz, faking the 3 timekeepers. Super odd that only one person gets to speak with them and knows all the rules, and she is the judge and jury.
I'm glad she said that because you know how Marvel likes to just fuck with us. So we were saying, everybody was saying Mephisto for God knows how many episodes. No Mephisto. Everybody here saying Kang, and then
I said Mephisto on this show too. When you saw when they showed the photo of
that is not Kang at the end, I'm gonna break something. Something's gonna get broke. It's gonna be violent.
When they showed the photo of the devil, I was like, Mephisto.
I saw that at the beginning. I was like, oh,
but they pressed Jonathan Majors about it. He's like, damn, I don't know nothing what y'all talking about.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Usually when you say I don't know what y'all talking about, that means I'm my what's the contract they used? My non-disclosure agreement.
NDA?
Yeah, my non-disclosure agreement.
But they could also be pulling some bullshit like what Paul Bettany did in WandaVision. It was like, oh, it's gonna be a super big cameo. Somebody that I've always wanted to work with,
and it was him.
Yeah, and it was him.
We kind of knew that early on. After we got into by episode 4 or whatever or 5, we like, nah, ain't nothing big happening in this show. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what is this? With WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki the way it is, it makes you think about Shang-Chi and Eternals when it comes on. I guess you're talking about like disappointment and like how it ends. Ultimately, I think that's probably what you're talking about. I mean, I did kind of reference that Shang-Chi has me a little bit worried in the sense that the person that's writing it is the same person that wrote Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, which is terrible.
Yeah. So that.
Why you have to tell me that? See, I ain't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I ain't know that shit.
Yeah, I ain't know. Mike told me that too. He like ruining shit for people.
Yeah, man.
I know, Ron. You not talking. You the main one that like to spoil shit. The whole time we talking Invincible, I don't want to spoil like your whole face.
Oh, look, I can't. With Invincible, it's hard. It's hard.
It's like I've been saying that's like my favorite comic book, like, superhero forever. Like,
because you know how the MCU basically diverges from the actual accurate telling of how it looks in the comics. Invincible is exactly how it's going. So it's like it's hard for me to be like, oh, okay. It's like when I saw episode, I think it was like episode 7. We have something to talk about. Like I knew what was going about. I knew it was about to go down.
Yeah.
What the chat just jumped? There was a comment that I wanted to highlight. Fuck, where'd it go? Hold up. Fuck, where did it go?
It got retracted.
Anyway, I'll point to
that was YouTube vetting your comments.
Where they do that?
Probably, yeah. No, they do that.
Uh-huh.
But this another comment. This is the one I wanted to have. But the train scene was the best in this episode, in my opinion. The "love is a dagger" quote tugged at my heartstrings. No, I mean I like that. I like that whole conversation between the two of them. Like, yeah, I agree. That was the best moment.
I mean, I'm still not wondering. Me being like this, me being somebody that's worked in beverage and nightlife so long, I was wondering where the fuck did they get champagne on this train? I was like, y'all got champagne on this planet?
On a planet, on another planet.
Pain.
I mean,
it was like, would you like some champagne? I was like, y'all go to Earth and get some fucking some bubbly?
Yeah, you're right. I ain't even
I was like, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's right.
When she offered it to him, I was like, who wrote that?
So now that you say that, I'm like, throw it back to what somebody said earlier. Maybe that goes back to the theory that maybe it is all a mind manipulation.
Oh man, it is an inception.
It's not a real planet because that would be a big ass plot hole.
Yeah, I mean we had the coffee cup in Game of Thrones, so it could just be a mistake.
Yeah, the Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But at least that wasn't like a part of the show. That was just somebody like it was left in the background, kind of like I don't know if you saw an episode of Mandalorian. You saw a person in the crew in some regular jeans, in
the back.
Yeah, in the back. So at least that's a mistake. Was no actually saying champagne.
Yeah,
that ain't no mistake. Somebody actually wrote that.
Ain't no sex in the champagne room.
But I'm trying to find that fucking comment that I wanted to highlight. Maybe it was retracted because I don't see it. But whatever. All right. But yeah. So final thoughts for the episode because starting. I need to get ready to go to work. So. Can't run too much longer. But yeah, final thoughts for the episode. James, we'll start with you.
I mean,
since you bring in the positivity.
Hey, look, that was my cue. Nah, I mean, to be honest, I think there's a lot more to be told. They ended it on a cliffhanger with basically the planet ending them up, and they basically burned out that time card. But they're gonna find another power source. They're gonna find their way back to the TVA. But the thing is, I don't think we learned as much as we could about Enchantress. Although I felt like I got a good amount.
We ain't learned shit.
I got a good amount.
All right, Ron.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Felt like a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
What is this episode reminded me of Doctor Who? Not gonna lie. But yeah, like I said, I never really watched Doctor Who like that, so I can't. But I saw a lot of people saying that. But yeah, like I guess I'll fall in the middle between both of y'all. Like there's some character moments, mostly specifically between Tom Hiddleston that I liked, him talking about his mother and things like that. But and everybody's all excited about the whole bisexual reveal. I'm just like, whatever. Like, show me, don't tell me. Like, fuck that. That was trash. But like,
need some action.
Yeah, like, and plus, like I mentioned earlier before you got on here, James, like when Loki was talking about like his lost love, a man and a woman, like it felt like he was hurt by it. So I'm like, there's a story. There's a story here. Yeah.
And we ain't never seen him like dabble in no type of relationships.
And I think that is what made him want to get drunk, because he started to remember that, like because she brought up past feelings, like, and so I'm like, what's the story there? Like, I want to know. And again, Marvel does a big thing of showing and not telling. Of telling and not showing. So I'm just like,
he fell in love with a fellow frost giant.
Maybe, I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, this episode wasn't trash, but it also wasn't really anything.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
But yeah, I don't know. But we're about to end. Any like predictions for next week? I don't even know. Like, yeah, they get off the planet. That's really my
in-depth storyline for the TVA. We get to know exactly what they're about.
I think it's the in-depth storyline for Lady Loki, not the TVA. Not yet. TVA episode 5. Yeah.
Okay. I think next week might be more in-depth for Lady Loki. Yeah. Because I did see. I think I saw something like they did cast a young Sylvie. So
okay. Flashback.
Yeah.
Maybe. And last comment I'll end on before we go is if you are a god and run back and forth through timelines and universes, why not be bi? Sounds normal to me.
Sounds like Star Trek. I mean, if you in space, if you in space long enough, you hitting anything off. Purple, blue, polka dot, tail, horns.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds normal to me too. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for this live stream for this week. Again, once again, guys, thank you so much for joining here on the live. Like I said, you could have been anywhere on the internet with all the bigger YouTubers that are going live right now, and you decided to come to the Safe Gayven. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you are watching on the live and you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Or if you're watching on the replay, hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment on the replay that isn't in the live chat. So I appreciate all of you guys. And James, thank you so much for jumping in on here, being the special last minute guest.
Not a problem.
But if you want to plug yourself really quick as we end, now's your time to do it.
Oh. No. I guess I'll go first.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I'm James Grandmaster Facts Boys. You can check me out on the Facts Project podcast and also the Party Nerds podcast, where we just basically talk about everything Fleek and Geek.
All right. Ron, your turn, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. I'm a motherfucker. I said at the beginning, but I'm around for you to read comics. I'm always reviewing comics on the website, posting memes about comics, living comics, everything comics. You can find me at You Read Comics. Just Google me. Yeah.
No, he said just Google his resume. His resume is up. But yeah, guys, that'll be and I mean y'all already know who I am, but BlackGayComicGeek. And be on the lookout. I will be, maybe not, obviously not today because I'm about to get ready to go to work, but maybe tomorrow I'll record and drop my review for Luca, Disney Plus. If you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend checking it out. Pixar, Pixar always has great movies, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe depends on how sleepy I am after I get off when I get off in the morning. But real quick, Jessica, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you. And yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. Join us next week for episode 4. Hopefully, it's a much better episode. So, yeah, next week, we out.
Peace.